sets by Smith, some bombs by Stoklos. That has turned it around, but the key play, you think, is the blocking.
Well, no, or the lack of.
Yes.
The strategy is, let's serve Brent Frohoff, not block. He's been chopping the ball around, moving it around Randy Stoklos, who only had 1 or 2 stuff blocks against this team. And they've just been back digging him. Between Stoklos and Smith, they have 11 digs. And as soon as they stopped blocking against Frohoff, they began their comeback.
Now Stoklos is up there, and Smith digs him again. So they're digging Brent Frohoff's lips right now. Great set. And Smith scores again. We're tied.
Boy, Jekyll and Hyde, they were flat. They were disenchanted with each other at the beginning of this match, and they got way behind, and they're back in it. Outscored Kirayan Frohoff 6-0 in this run, and Randy Stoklos dishes this one up. Bump set par excellence.
Here comes Frohoff, and he's stuffed. So Smith and Stoklos. Someone stuck a hot poker in one of their backs.
Where?
They got into it. Smith and Stoklos with 7 straight points. The turnaround is unbelievable. Karch and Brent need timeout desperately, and they take it. Should have taken one before that, boys, I think. You think, Paul?
Well, with a steamroller like this, it happens so fast. It's like they're in a daze right now. They're just getting up off the mat and say, hey, we got to get a timeout in here.
All right, timeout on the court, and Karch and Brent going to talk it over by the little players.
But notice this week, if we can, Karch and Brent are way down to our left, and St. John and Randy are way over to the right.
Yes.
Maybe the players have said, look, we don't like sitting together anymore. So this week, the way they've set up the court is that those little players' boxes are about 30 feet apart.
Well, it's hard to discuss strategy when your hated rivalry is right next to you.
They've separated the players.
Yes.
I think that's interesting.
I think that's good. It's much like tennis boxes.
Behind those 2 Avion banners are the 2 penalty boxes, so to speak.
So they go to the box, they discuss their strategy, and they come back out. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos, well, they have the formula right now. They are playing extremely well. 7 straight points. Kirayan Frohoff, what do they have to do?
Brent Frohoff has to side out right now, and they've got to go back to their strategy. Jump serve very hard to Randy Stoklos, but Frohoff has got to side out.
Stoklos way over, another stuff.
See, this strategy has taken Karch Kirayan almost completely out of the game. He gets to touch the ball once. All he gets to do is set the ball. Brent Frohoff has to do the rest, and Stokey is getting way over the net. And whether they are digging or blocking Brent Frohoff, they are stopping him.
10-8, and Frohoff finally puts one away after 8 straight points by Stoklos and Smith.
One of the most impressive performances in terms of a scoring run we've seen in a long, long time. Great defense, blocking, transition sets.
Let's talk about comebacks. 2 weeks ago at Manhattan, Kirayan Frohoff down 10-5, came back to win. Last week in Grand Haven, down 10-7. Smith and Stoklos ended up losing that one as Karch stuffs one down.
Block worst, no block worst. This is block best, and a block fest at that. Stoklos blocking, and now Karch getting way over the net.
Might have been a hitting error for St. John. 10-9. We're tightening up just a bit. A lot of action, a lot of points, all kinds of weird things happening. Frohoff with the dig. It's right on top. Smith gobbles it up. Coming in. Oh, my gosh.
Boy, I don't get this play at all. St. John makes a good read, good pass. Stokey can take the ball with his hands.
No one in the universe would try this play except Randy.
I don't get that play at all. Big break for Frohoff and Kirayan.
We are tied at 10. Frohoff, Kirayan, Smith, Stoklos, just like it ought to be. Back to Milwaukee after this. We are back at the Miller Lite Milwaukee Open. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, Bill McDonald. We are tied at 10. Frohoff, Kirayan, Smith, and Stoklos. And just moments ago, a very unusual play by St. John and Randy, especially Randy Stoklos.
Well, if you're keeping track with us at home in your scorebook, mark this one down. This is just a mental error, and volleyball is a game of momentum, and that really let Kirayan Frohoff off the hook. Don't know what Randy's obviously was.
He didn't touch the ball, did he?
Oh, of course he did. He was trying to. No,
on the block is what I'm asking.
Well, that would be the only saving grace. But by the way Smith reacted, I don't think so. I think that he had a good setting opportunity. The only salvation would be if, in fact, he did have a deflection off the block.
All right. It was 10-9 at that point, so Kirayan and Frohoff scored. We're tied at 10. Paul Sunderland told you Jekyll and Hyde are here. And this has been a very unusual championship game. It's had everything so far. Stoklos puts it away at 10. And St. John will get set to put the ball in play. If you just joined us, Karch and Brent jumped out to an 8-2 lead. And then Smith and Stoklos went on a tear and scored 8 of their own to go up 10-8. Then a couple of unusual plays, and now we're tied at 10.
Staying on Frohoff right down the line, and he's not passing the ball particularly well right now.
Nice dig by Smith on the alligator. And Smith puts it away.
St. John Smith just putting on a clinic right now, playing cross-court defense against his right side nemesis, Brent Frohoff. St. John now with 9 digs. Just playing super defense in the cross court.
11-10. One of the reasons Frohoff can't get Smith out of that angle because he does not have a great cut shot. So Smith is just dug in cross court, just waiting for the heat.
And also, he's not passing the ball with great accuracy, so Karch can set him in a good body position to chop line as well.
11-10. Smith and Stoklos ahead by 1. Wind picking up just a bit. Temperature going down. Frohoff puts it away, but Smith was right on top of it.
He was right there. He's lining him up perfectly every time Brent is swinging. Brent hasn't shown us the deep middle to get Smith out of his cross court. Brent's got to establish the deep middle, I think, spread the defense a little bit.
You know, you have to be thinking, too, of your spiker. Why hit all the balls at St. John, who is a great defensive player? Randy's pretty good, but not as good as St. John. Sometimes in the past, when I've been getting dug a lot by a player, hey, you start hitting the ball at the other guy.
Absolutely.
Hit the ball at the player who's not quite as good on defense. And St. John is the best, so you got to keep it away from him. 11-10. Ahead by 1. Smith and Stoklos. And Smith saying, wait a second, blow it a little harder, Bobby, because I can't hear the whistle. There we go. Shank pass again.
Yep.
Another bad set. It's off the net. Frohoff coming at it.
Low set.
Jeez. The old coming out very, very low was the set.
Ball control so important to these teams. Frohoff and Kirai, as we get a quick little set to the outside, the ball control of Frohoff and Kirai deserted them a little bit here.
Well, that's something that Karch and Brent have been working on. They like to use that low set. They utilized it last week in the wind, and they've continued it. Stoklos, and Stoklos goes right over the top of Karch.
I think the low set is a good strategy, but I'll tell you, the margin for error is very small.
I think one of the things that's killing Frohoff and Kirai right now, Frohoff is not passing the ball. He's shanking him low to the net.
Yep.
Karch is a good bump setter, but it's hard. They're playing in wet, thick sands. You're trying to move your feet. He'd like to get his hands on it.
Maybe Fro feeling the pressure just a little bit. He knows he's getting served every time, and he's not siding out well.
Stoklos! Great shot!
Tremendous shot by Randy Stoklos. Just tremendous deflection off the block created by Randy Stoklos. Then the chase by St. John. Look at this slice and dice. Randy's known for the heater. Well, I'll tell you, that was just great technique.
12-10. A 2-point advantage for Smith Stoklos. And we're going to take a 20-second timeout. That's number 2 for Frohoff Kirai. They've also used up, I believe, one of their full timeouts. And so Randy Stoklos and St. John Smith, what a comeback, down 8-2. And now they lead 12-10. 20-second timeout is just that, 20 quick seconds. 11 of the last 13. It's just like basketball, if you're wondering. They call it a sand timeout, but it's really not anymore. Smith with another dig. And Smith puts it away. You want to know what digging lips is? You've heard that term. Well, Smith is digging Brent Frohoff's lips off right now.
He's writing the book. He's just looking at Brent, and he's lining him up. And after he digs him, he's able to move the ball around and put the ball away for scores.
One more, and he'll be digging his face off. Stoklos blocked it out of bounds. So Frohoff and Kirai really have to turn it around here.
If we were keeping hitting charts, I think you would see that Brent Frohoff has hit 90% of the balls cross court. He's got to go back and establish the line. If Randy's blocking, he's got to roll the ball over the top. And if he's not, as you mentioned earlier, hit the ball at Stoklos. Smith is just on fire playing defense.
Well, Frohoff doesn't turn down the line when he's got an open net. He's hitting straight cross court. Here comes Stoklos. And Stoklos hits it inside Karch off.
Karch technically a superb blocker, and that time let his hands drift back off the net quite a bit. Randy able to hit the ball inside him.
St. John serving. 3-point lead. 2 points away from victory in our final. That wouldn't be the tournament. Smith almost had that one up also.
Same thing, and Randy is faking blocking, not in as good a defensive posture as his partner St. John Smith, and yet Brent is challenging cross court almost every time.
Well, we do have the killer loop, killer award in this particular final. Maybe we should get the Mortician award for the digger. That would go to St. John Smith right now. He's playing some great defense. St. John on the attack, and he puts it right over the top. So St. John and Randy taking it to Karch and Brent right now. 13-10. 1 game to 15, remember?
This ball set tight. Frohoff hands back off the net until late, and St. John hitting at the top of his reach, chopping inside the block.
If St. John and Randy win this, we go to the double final. 7 ball, swatted back by the Kong. Smith is there, he pokes it back over. Karch chases. Big rally here. Karch put it away.
Frohoff setting the ball quick again. Obviously, they've been practicing that. St. John, several opportunities again to score in there, but he's just playing great defense. One of the best series we've seen this summer. Give Randy Stoklos some credit in that, too. Their blocking strategy, he must be taking away an awful lot of court.
Frohoff serve not been effective today. Stoklos on the fake block, and he whips it by Karch. Got a little heat on that baby.
Some confusion there, I think, between Frohoff and Kirai. They faked the block, but then both players backed up into the same area. I-formation defense.
13-10. Smith Stoklos leading. Trying to put away the 15-pointer if they can. And that's the sharp angle that Frohoff needs.
Yeah, but you see how sharply he has to hit the ball. He almost has to hit a perfect shot to get the ball past the block and defeat the defense of St. John Smith. If he hits that ball 3 inches closer to Randy, he either gets stuffed or gets dug.
Thing about Brent, though, he does not use that shot. Although he has 24 kills, he does not use that shot unless the block is up. You don't see him use that shot very often when he's alone at the net. And Stoklos showing disdain for the Frohoff block over the top.
Randy passing the ball very, very well right now, and Smith giving him good bump sets to the outside. I think Frohoff and Kirai, if they're going to challenge Randy, have to jump serve him to the sideline.
Up by 3. Smith Stoklos. Fake block. Smith got him up right over Stoklos' head. Couldn't move. He was coming in. He leaned in just a bit.
Stokey was anticipating a perfect dig right up in the middle of the court. He moved towards St. John, just getting so many good digs. See, Randy's on the move towards him, and this one goes right over his head.
13-10. Both teams very steady. Long side out streak of 8. Here comes Stoklos.
Great shot. And I'm trying to figure out, Chris, why Brent Frohoff has gone to the deep floater to Randy Stoklos instead of the jump serve. That's
Might be tired.
Created. Maybe so. Shouldn't be. Cool day. They won the winner's bracket. They played the minimum number of games. But that's when they were on a roll, when they were challenging cross court with their jump serves.
Smith has it perfectly done, and Coe put up. That's got to be a carry. No.
Good.
Oh my God. There's going to be an argument here. And Smith, wait a second. Wait a second.
What they called was a net on Brent Frohoff, but I think the dig is good.
I don't think the dig's any good, and I don't think there's a net. I didn't see a net, but the dig was horrendous.
There was a net call by our umpire at the end of the play. That's what determined the result of this play. But the dig, I think, is good. You got to let that go.
You can't throw it up.
Yeah, but the ball didn't come to rest. That's if I've ever seen a hard-driven ball, that certainly
was a hard-driven ball, but he practically scooped it up with the old full deep disher there, and we're going to take timeout once again. So Brent and Karch take a timeout and a full timeout. So Bobby Clark, in 2 minutes, will blow.
Been encouraging that shot for the last 20 minutes in this first game of what looks like to be our 2-game final. Chop the ball down the line to Randy Stoklos as he retreats from a blocking position.
Karch now serving. Somehow Frohoff and Kirai just cannot score, and that is due to the brilliant play of Smith Stoklos. Smith easily hammers it down. Frohoff and Kirai once again led 8-2, and somehow the lead just shrunk up. Some unbelievable defensive plays, a couple bombs at the net.
St. John Smith has 12 digs.
Second game point. We go to the tiebreaker if this is a score. Stoklos in trouble. Was Frohoff for a moment, but he's able to poke it over Stoklos. Weird play by Frohoff.
Frohoff stumbling a little bit. Remember, the sand is very wet. You know,
yes.
You get a big mound of it. It's easy to dig yourself down. We've had lots of rain today.
You take a look at the sand, very wet and very thick. You have to be worried about stumbling. And if someone steps in a hole, then that hole is there for a little while.
Get the steam shovel to fix it.
Get the rake, baby. Here comes Stoklos. And Stoklos sizzles one in. So
Randy's doing a superb job offensively. From 8-2 on, it was like the game started over for Smith and Stoklos. They have outscored Frohoff and Kirai 12-2.
They played perfectly. Third game point. Frohoff, Smith chases it easily. This should do it. Smith. Oh, he hit it out of bounds. Still have the lead, however, but you never know when things could change. Smith will make that play 99 times out of 99 usually.
Absolutely.
Little chop down the line, just cut it a little too finely.
And it was wide open.
Karch serving. Easy. Lollipops are out now for both teams.
Going back to St. John.
Blocked. Chance for a point. Frohoff. Pretty good hit and a pretty good dig. Here comes Randy. And Randy hits it out. So that's going to be a 14-11 side change, and Frohoff and Kirai still alive in our 15-point final. So it looks like we're going all the way here. Smith and Stoklos battling. Frohoff and Kirai back with more after this. In the ring of the court, Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, Bill McDonald, our championship final.
People just shaking off the icicles, if you ask me.
Randy Stoklos and his partner St. John Smith down 8-2, came back with a vengeance, scored, I believe, 8 straight points, 11 out of 13, and now lead 14-11. Karch and Brent scored the last point, and they will have the serve on the good side.
Smith and Stoklos in control, obviously 14-11, but Smith hits game point out of bounds. Randy Stoklos hits point number 11 for Kirai and Frohoff out of bounds, and you never know.
Karch will serve, and he's just lollipopping it in now. Smith against Frohoff, and Smith over easy.
Really curious about the change in serving strategy from Frohoff and Kirai.
Why would they not be jump serving?
I don't understand. Brent may be a little bit tired.
Karch may be a little bit tired.
Karch may be a little bit tired. Again, they have, however, played the minimum number of games. And since they got together 7 weeks ago, they've been in the finals. This is the 8th week every time, so they're used to being in this position.
And Stoklos going to try Karch, and he just barely got that ball over the net. And some days, no matter how finely conditioned you are, and Karch is one of the finest of all time, you're just having an off day, you don't feel well.
Well, this is only Karch's 4th kill, and he's not getting any serve, so he's not like he can get into a good rhythm hitting. You know, and it's freezing out here. He's probably getting cold a little bit in between plays.
Temperature in the 50s, the wind coming off Lake Michigan. If you've ever been in this area of the country, you know how cold it can become.
Well, this is a nice day in November.
Frohoff, jump serving. Stoklos has it.
Kirai and Frohoff need a block or a dig, and that looked like an opportunity, but Frohoff was frozen and too deep in the middle back.
Not a good play by Kirai and Frohoff on this one.
Loopy over. Karch had broken left, but look at Fro. Had committed himself to the cross court.
It is game point once again for Smith Stoklos. 5th time. Frohoff puts it away. So Frohoff and Kirai trying to hang on in the 15-pointer. But they know that they could possibly get to that 7-pointer. As you see, Lake Michigan, last week we were across the way.
Exactly across the way in Muskegon, Michigan.
Smith on the attack. Here he comes. Karch has a dig. Frohoff chasing. Great set. Here it comes. Karch dig. Score!
Boy, how big is that game point? Shot out by St. John Smith, getting 14-12. And footsteps. Footsteps. Here they come. Here comes Kirai and Frohoff. Brent blocking, sprints all the way to the baseline and spins up a sweet bump set, and then Karch just freezing St. John Smith in his tracks.
Something Karch has been doing a lot in transition, utilizing that dink set. 12 serving 14. They'll try St. John again. Karch has it. Chance for another point. This could be 13. Not yet. Yes, it is.
Footsteps. Now it's a stampede. 14-13, and how big again were those two hitting errors?
The tenor of the game shifting just a bit.
In transition, both Kirai and Frohoff can set the ball with the best out here. Maybe Randy Stoklos, the only player better.
Down by one, Kirai and Frohoff trying to tie. Stoklos, tight set.
Good shot to the corner.
Gentle rainbow by Randy. And perhaps a serving error by Kirai and Frohoff. Maybe they should have stuck with St. John. They got a couple off him. And now Randy, for the 6th time, will walk back to the ribbon and serve for the game.
Coming right down the line. If I were Randy Stoklos, hit Brent Frohoff.
Frohoff has it. Smith, oh, he got it up. Got to come over. Karch chasing. Once again, this is game point. And Karch and Brent are still alive.
What a tremendous play by St. John Smith. He does make that play better than anybody else I have ever seen. Look at that. St. John does that week in and week out, just sacrificing his body to make the play. Randy just caught completely out of posture.
14
Smith,
great digs.
14 of them.
Frohoff can't handle the heat. Smith and Stoklos get another side out, another chance at game point.
Dicey side out. Frohoff went back to the jump serve. Randy didn't pass it that well. St. John set the ball to the best he could, and Randy ripped it cross court.
7 times. Smith and Stoklos have been there. And Frohoff has gotten scary steady all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, what I don't understand is that Smith has abandoned the cross-court digging position. He's breaking line, and he was having so much success early on. I mean, the game's awfully easy from up here. It always has been. But
you're playing perfectly.
Yeah, I'm batting 1,000 from up here. But St. John was digging every ball when he was hanging cross-court.
A 1-point advantage for Smith Stoklos. And Randy tops it off Brent's arm out of bounds.
This is getting interesting. A couple of very dicey side outs. Brent's hand just back from the net. Smith and Stoklos going to talk about this strategy.
What do you do here? Fake block, I like.
I think if you serve the ball deep to Frohoff, I would go with the fake block. I think that's a pretty good call.
Only problem, Stokey's got to get it way up there fast and get back fast. He's staying up there. And once again, the cross-court spike.
St. John breaking behind the block.
He's expecting it.
He's expecting the line shot. Look at Randy. Randy's not really blocking cross-court. He blocked him pretty much straight on.
Well, they dug Frohoff a lot in the middle of the game. Down by 1, Frohoff and Kirai. Randy got it again. So Randy looks very steady on the left side. I'm not sure I'd be serving Big Randy right now.
Good bump setting by St. John Smith. He's getting the ball up there, keeping it in front of Randy in good hitting position.
And a very interesting final. Smith and Stoklos need to win here to send it to the tiebreaker. Another game point. Karch stuffed. And we'll go to a double final. Stoklos making the impact play.
This crowd on their feet. They want to see more volleyball, and they're going to get it.
All right. Bradford beats Kirai and Frohoff. But now it's the double final. 1 game to 7 points. Let's look at the rules, Mr. Paul.
Interesting and quick. 1 game to 7 points. Only have to win by 1. Change sides, multiples of 2. 1 30-second timeout and 2 20-second sand timeout.
Here we go. St. John and Randy played so well in the finals. Down 8-2, came all the way back. Hung on to win 15-13. Brent Frohoff and Karch Kirai won the winner's bracket. They were undefeated. Now both teams have 1 loss. This is why we do this double final thing, you're probably wondering. And
key here is getting off to a great start. Get some momentum and get some confidence.
Dig by Frohoff. Karch will bump it up.
Not a good set.
But a pretty good hit down the line. Smith chasing. Great set, and Stoklos buries it. Getting into this, Paul.
Why not? This is some of the best volleyball we've had all year, and it looked like it was going to be a blowout. Go back to the beginning of the game to 15. Karch Kirai, his partner Brent Frohoff, just exploded out to an 8-2 lead. Karch doesn't look very happy right now.
You can look at the intensity on Karch's face as Frohoff thunders it in cross court. For Karch Kirai, there's only one thing on his mind: winning tournaments and beating Smith and Stoklos. That's why he hired Brent Frohoff.
Exactly. He changed partners, went away from Kent Steffes because he felt that that team, Kirai Steffes, could not beat Smith and Stoklos. And Frohoff and Kirai have several times this year.
Deep serve to Randy.
Tight set.
Little joust at the net. Poke back over. Smith. And Smith guesses right. Smith puts it away.
Very smart play by Sinjin Smith. Brent with a good joust. But now at the end of this play, Brent's got to back up. He's got to back up a little bit. And Karch trying to read behind him. Smith with a good shot.
You have to anticipate Karch is going to think fast and run fast, so you have to hit it the opposite way. Here's Brent. No score yet. And right through the hands of Stoklos. Playing to 7, win by 1. These two teams have done this before. The most notable time in Newport, Rhode Island last year when they were tied 6-6. Both teams had championship point.
Karch thought he had won that one, of course, and that's the famous incident of Karch pulling down the entire court system after the championship.
Here comes Randy. Randy deep into the corner. And Stoklos has really elevated his game. So is Smith after that 8-2 run early.
We talked about times to fake block, and I think it would have been a good time for Karch there in the yellow hat to fake block. The ball set 6 or 7 feet back from the net. Pull back and not give Randy quite so much court to hit into.
Net serve by Stoklos. Just for identification, Karch is wearing the yellow hat. Frohoff has the purple trunks with the green trim with the knee brace on the near side here. Sinjin Smith is in the orange trunks on the far side. And Randy Stoklos getting the ball right now in the blue. And heat inside by Stoklos. Tough to dig that cross-court angle. It's getting very dark here too, Paul.
Well, the clouds are just getting lower and lower, and the sun tried to peek out for a little while at the start of this final, but it's lost what energy it had.
This is Bradford Beach in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the site for this year's tournament, as it has been for the past few years. Karch chasing, that's trouble. Oh, Stoklos thunders it down. Bad pass by Frohoff set that up. And Stoklos, hey, he was just waiting there.
He's had 2 or 3 free shots at an open net. Missed pass by Brent Frohoff, and if you're going to do that at this level, you're going to pay.
1-0, Smith Stoklos. Brent, and once again, hitting cross court.
And Sinjin abandoning the cross court side. They must have a strategy on where Randy's going to take away the cross court, but he's just not doing it. It's the only explanation I can think of. Sinjin was having great success digging cross court.
Frohoff's jump serve has not been a factor. One of the best on the beach, having trouble getting heat on it today.
Hadn't been using it.
Oh, there's an ace, just as we say. What a big play for Brent Frohoff and Karch Kirai.
I think it's a key for them. I think they have to jump serve almost every time. Did they have any aces in the previous game? Frohoff had 2, but early on, and then he abandoned the jump serve. I think they got to go with it, stay with it.
I don't remember
the jump serve religion.
They must have been very, very early. Maybe not a clean ace, maybe a winner. As the Stoklos were tied 1-0. Actually, we're tied at 1, are we not, Paul? Frohoff, Stoklos with a dig. Hard-driven ball. Here comes Randy. And Karch can't contribute. It is 1-1. Our scoreboard reads 1-0 out here on the beach, but we believe it is 1-1.
End of this play. Randy Stoklos going up and over, and Karch giving it his all. The play before was the key. Frohoff's usually pretty good with the knuckler to create point-scoring opportunities, but the ball's wet, the ball's heavy. He's got to get 2 hands on that ball, give Karch a good chance to set him in transition. Starting to rain again, Chris.
If you're wondering if the players are playing with the same ball that they played with in that last final, the answer is yes. They'll stick with it. Stoklos jump serve out of bounds. 2 serving errors for Randy in a row here in the final. Trying to put a little pressure on Karch and Brent. 1-1 is our score. Going to 7. But the easiest serve you'll ever see. Here comes Randy. Randy puts it away.
See, I don't like this strategy. If Karch is going to serve the lollipop, then Karch, you sprint to the net and block, because this ball Randy can pass all day long, and it creates an easy side-out opportunity.
Smith Both teams have clear strategy right now, at least it appears. Frohoff, and Frohoff hits hard, using a sharper trajectory on his hit on that play. Score remains 1-1 in the double final.
Frohoff just cranking cross court, and St. John was digging every one of those, it seemed like, for a while in the first game of this double final. But Fro putting the ball away now.
Trying to lob Randy deep. Raindrops starting to come down. Tight set. Frohoff has it. And Karch obviously touched it, pokes it over. Here comes Randy.
Set.
Oh, what a dig. Frohoff has it. Back to Stoklos. And Smith. Oh, right to Brent. Frohoff. Got it.
Boy, it's dig the rocket and then lollipop the ball right to Fro. Obviously, St. John not doing that on purpose. And, oh, interesting rally.
And here comes the rain. 2-1 Frohoff Karai. Big play there. Randy tight. Frohoff stuffs it right in his face. 3-1 as they turn. The ball hit Stoklos in the face, and he bumped it out. That is a double contact, and so that is going to be a point. We're taking time out on the side change. We're playing by Frohoff 3, Smith Stoklos 1 when we come back. And this is what it's been like all week here. Well, not all week.
Not all
last
week.
couple days.
Not all week.
Bradford Beach, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're glad to be here. We're hanging on up top on the scaffolding.
Yeah,
we got the ponchos back.
We just had our first little shot of thunder and lightning.
Oh, that's good news on this metal scaffolding. All right, if you hear short-circuiting, you'll know what happened. 3-1, Frohoff and Karai. An intense Randy Stoklos, his partner St. John Smith. They have to hang on here now. St. John, fake block, and Frohoff,
Middle, deep middle, great place to attack for the fake block. That's the shot that Frohoff needs really in his repertoire.
One looking at three. Smith, and he's going to talk it over with Randy. Nope, he's going to give the ball to Randy, which is a good idea if it is Randy's serve. Serving Brent, trying to get back. Frohoff, Smith has it. Stoklos keeps it in play. Frohoff again.
Got it. Deep shot that time into the corner. Brent Frohoff, instead of just trying to muscle the ball past the defense of St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos, he's moving the ball around. Higher, flatter shot into the corner. And these are big raindrops now.
Yes, they are.
It's not misting anymore. These are big, serious raindrops.
And that's the end of my notes, Paul. They're going in the Big Bertha.
Oh, my. Can you imagine if the wind was blowing?
3-1. We played in the rain. Smith Stoklos trailing by 2. Stoklos pounds it down.
Not many people are leaving. The players are going to concentrate, struggle through these conditions.
As you can see, Bradford beats the stands abandoned. A lot of people are standing over, if you see in the deep court, the brick housing over in the corner there. A lot of people huddled under there. Sky ball trying to get raindrops in the eyes of Karai.
Tight
set. And a pretty nice dink by Karch. Karch using the little knuckle pokey.
Good shot by Karch Karai. He'd been trying to chop the ball past Randy Stoklos in this circumstance earlier and paid for it.
3-1 Frohoff and Karai with a 2-point lead. Frohoff. Down the line, just out of bounds. That was the play that Frohoff got his first ace with. Yes, it's coming down. Frohoff getting the serve once again. Smith with a dig. Stoklos chasing.
Randy must have touched it.
He did. Here we go. Frohoff on the attack. And Frohoff once again cross court.
Again, to review the rules, the difference from indoors to outdoors, the touch on the block does count on the beach. Indoors, that deflection does not. That's why Randy Stoklos had to send that fine dig back over the net from St. John Smith.
JJ, Jeff Jordan trying to dry the ball off just a bit. course, if you're serving, you don't want to dry it off. If you're the receiving team, you want it to be dried off.
Absolutely.
Try to serve the wet one.
Tight set.
Good dig by Karch. Off the left hand of Stokey. Karch, dink again. Karch turning up the steam just a bit. Now 4-1.
Gobbling it up. Karch gets the call. There's St. John Smith in the cross court. Karch doesn't have to hit the ball hard. He just got to get it over the top of Randy Stoklos.
You wonder if a ball handling error will occur in the next 3 or 4 plays. They're trying to keep the ball dry, but if you're a hand setter, which everyone is except for St. John Smith, that could be a factor. Maybe we'll see a slip through the hands. Got to tighten up those hands just a touch. Smith with a bump. Here comes Randy, and Randy hammers one. Stoklos with the side out. 4-1. Score remains. Playing to 7. Double final here on the Prime Network. The 2 best teams on the beach. St. John Smith, you're looking at him right there. And Randy Stoklos, Karch Kiraly, Brent Frohoff. Pouring rain at the moment. Frohoff down the line. We haven't seen that much.
Like Frohoff short-circuited in the middle of that first game to 15. He just kept trying to challenge St. John Smith cross court. Now he's moving the ball around very effectively.
Both the linesmen, Marvin Hall and Jeff Jordan, trying to keep that ball dry. And Stoklos drying off his hands. And I don't think there's any way to keep dry now.
No.
Just play ball.
Well, earlier on, we just sort of had the mist of a very gray day, but now we're in the midst of a rainstorm.
Karch with a dig. Oh, Frohoff got stuck. His feet in cement, couldn't go. Karch had the dig, but Frohoff thinking maybe it was going to be a cut shot.
Mark that one down. Nice dig by Karch Kiraly, and Frohoff just stops. Look at him, look at him. And that ball lands inside the line. That's a big play.
Karch begging Frohoff. You okay? We'll keep an eye on Frohoff. And Frohoff, yeah. And he's having some words. I don't know with who. And we're going to get a 20-second timeout. 20-second timeout taken by Smith Stoklos. We're going to take a break. We come back. Double final, 4-1. Kiraly and Frohoff still ahead by 3. Stop on the AVP Tour. Prime Network continuing its coverage. Kiraly, Frohoff, Smith Stoklos, 4-1. Playing to 7, our double final. Rain pouring down here. Weather has been horrible both days. Yesterday, even colder. More wind, but not as much rain. Today, more wind, more rain, less wind. And fans...
That's AVP gear.
AVP wear. And the fans, they knew what kind of a day it was going to be. The local sportscaster, local weatherman said here, this is going to be the coldest spot in the United States today. And he has not disappointed. Stoklos. And Stoklos still hitting, still bombing. Smith and Stoklos have settled down now, as they did. Remember, Smith and Stoklos behind 8-2 in our final. They came back. They would like nothing better than to come all the way back in the double final. Smith serving Frohoff. Blocked. Chance for a point. Stokey. Yes! Randy Stoklos converts. And that is going to be a side change. No stoppage of play. 4-2 now. Smith and Stoklos get a point.
This game going to go right down to the wire. Play is continuous every other change of sides. Kiraly and Frohoff lead 4-2. Smith Stoklos making a nice play in transition. This has gotten very, very intense all of a sudden.
Smith gobbles it up. Chance for another point. And Smith puts it away. St. John Smith, the KG veteran.
Excellent read by St. John Smith. Took a chance on Brent Frohoff's roll shot over the block. And as we've talked about all summer long, very improved at putting the ball away from the left side in transition.
That's the shot St. John has been waiting for, the one he's been lunging for, thirsting for, and why he has abandoned the cross court. 4-3 now. Kiraly Frohoff ahead by 1. Off the head of Stoklos, could be a point. Stoklos. Karch chasing. Ding! Oh! ball is called back! And we are tied at 4. Frohoff lofted up a little dink shot, and it was swatted out by the king of the Kong. Stokey ties it up. We're going to take a break. The king of the Kong and his partner Smith are back in it. We're tied at 4. Ryan Frohoff, Smith Stoklos, a double final. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, Bill McDonald. It has been raining steadily for the past half an hour. Smith and Stoklos came back and won the first final 15-13, and it is muddy. Teams hanging on here, playing to 7. Frohoff, Smith digs it, right back to Frohoff. Frohoff again, cut, score. Good cut shot by Frohoff. That's the shot we said that he doesn't like to use too much. Slicing it in on that man, St. John Smith.
Let's review the rules just for a second. We're tied here, a score of 4-4. Playing only to 7, have to win by 1. So this is a game to 3, not going beyond 7 under any circumstances.
You get 1 full timeout and 2 20-second timeouts. And we'll check those for you in just a moment. Stoklos.
Tight set.
And Stoklos pounds it straight down the line.
Nice shot down the line. Randy prefers to go cross court in that situation. Really picked a nice spot.
Each team has taken 1 sand timeout. So each team has 1 sand and 1 regular. Or full, we should say. Frohoff getting every single serve. And Frohoff puts it away. He is looking very good for our killer loop, killer award. The most kills in the championship final.
Frohoff changed his trajectory when he was challenging sharp inside. He was either getting dug by St. John Smith, as you said, getting his lips dug off.
Certainly
or
were.
he was getting stuffed. He's going high flat now into the corner.
4-4.
Trying St. John Smith.
And Smith puts it away. While we have a moment, I'd like to thank Rudy Papaco. He is the man who sets up the beach, one of the great guys in the AVP, not only for sending us our AVP ponchos up, our rain gear and our slickers, but for the great job that Rudy and his crew do every week, going from site to site, setting up the beach, tearing it down, and they have had to work under some very oppressive conditions here in Milwaukee. They've done a heck of a job. Thanks, Rudy.
But this week, I'm particularly thankful for the ponchos.
Yes.
Because without them, we would be absolutely soaked to the bone.
Well, Rudy doesn't know we're sticking these ponchos in our bags on the way home. And so, Rudy, we got him, baby. 4-4 is our score. It's been a good one all the way. 2 teams that battling for King of the Beach honors. Both teams have won 6 tournaments. At least Karch has won 6 on the AVP Tour. Smith and Stoklos have won 6. Frohoff has won 5. And this week, it's either going to be one team or the other back in the lead. Tied at 4. Frohoff with the jumper. Deep.
Critical set from St. John Smith.
Pretty good one. Stoklos, Frohoff. Karch chasing. He has it. Frohoff will try to keep it in. He does. St. John on the left. Stoklos sets him. Got a hand on it. Karch. St. John back at it. Could be the rally. Could be the one. Doug. Frohoff. Here he. Oh! It was called on the left.
And that should be a red card, if I'm not mistaken.
That's going to be a yellow card.
Gets him a yellow.
Oh, it is a red card.
Should be a red card, I think.
And that is going to, that may be a point. Is that a point or a side out, Paul? Oh, it's a point. They're going to give him a point. I can't believe it. It looked like a driven ball. Bobby Clark saying the dig was made. Explain it, Paul, what happens when you kick the ball out of the playing surface.
Well, let's watch the replay first. Now, this is a driven ball. I think it's a pretty good dig. The whistle blows, and Frohoff sends it into Milwaukee Bay right here on Lake Michigan. Ball violation out of the playing area is a red card.
Oh, what a big play. Smith and Stoklos making a good play on their side, keeping it alive, but that was a key play. Frohoff getting upset, socked the ball out, and basically what happened, Bobby Clark gave him a technical foul, and now they have to use up their last full timeout.
What did you think of the dig?
I thought the dig looked fairly good from where I'm standing.
So
it's hard to tell. It looked like he got downward trajectory. It looked like he swung at the ball.
Definitely a driven ball. I thought the dig was okay. It was marginal, but it was not bad. Fro losing composure and letting it fly. in slow motion.
Well, maybe he called it that it stuck or something. I don't know if he said it was a driven ball. The rule, explain the rule, Paul.
Well, if it's a hard-driven ball, you can play it multiply, as long as it's one attempt.
Yes.
And you don't literally catch it, it should be okay. And by that definition, or at least the one I'm using right now, I think it was a pretty good dig.
5-4 is the score. Karai and Frohoff trail. We mentioned the famous net ripping down incident in Newport, Rhode Island. One of these teams going to be very upset after this particular game. Both teams have played well. Both teams think they should win, and some unusual stuff has been happening here. 5-4. Smith Stoklos have the lead. Remember, they trailed 3-1.
Like I said, it's Milwaukee.
Smith drills it. St. John has confidence, and he should. He's won more tournaments than any man alive or dead.
Who do you have in mind that has any victories instead?
I don't know. I was just thinking. There must be a couple guys on the.
Yeah, get yourself out of this one, Marlon.
All right. Alive. Stoklos serving. Frohoff. And deep shot.
High flat into the corner. When I say high flat, just raising the trajectory of your attack, hitting it off the top of the block.
4 serving 5. Karai and Frohoff trail. They won the winner's bracket. This would certainly be one that got away. At an 8-2 lead in the final game to 15. Gagged that away. Stoklos hurts one cross court.
Fro should have that dig. He was in good location on the court. Had his hands up, down, and he knows he let one get away right there. Boy, he was in the right spot.
Up by 1, Smith Stoklos. 2 points away from victory. And nobody, says Cart, so Brandt heaters it.
Who's going to break? That's the question. Who's going to make a mistake? Ball handling mistake, hit a ball out of bounds. That's going to decide this game.
Got to be one that goes through someone's hands setting the ball, doesn't it, Paul?
Oh, boy.
Want to tighten your hands up. 5-4, Frohoff looking for the ace. And outside, boy, it's tough to get an ace when you really need one. Frohoff high and wide that time. Trying to work Randy to the outside.
St. John and Randy hurrying up Marvin Hall, drying the ball off. They want to put the wet one in play.
Yes. Pressure on Frohoff. Now he must side out and get a good set from Karai. They'll go to Karai once.
Not a good set. That ball was off the net.
And Karch hits it out of bounds. And so good strategy by Smith and Stoklos. They go for the change. They serve Karch and it works. They pick up a point. Now 6-4. And Smith and Stoklos will be serving for the championship.
Randy's begging for that ball back. He says, Jeff, you're doing too good a job drying it off.
Championship point here in Milwaukee. Stokey to serve. Going to Karch. Karch puts it away.
Remember, I said it would take an error, and who would have ever thought Karch Kirai hit a relatively easy shot out of bounds? That was the ball control error that may have cost them this championship.
Karai will serve. His team trailing by 2. What a comeback this has been for St. John and Randy.
Easy serving from Kirai and Frohoff.
Smith. And Smith drills it home. St. John walking back. Last tournament win just about 1 month ago at Indy. Looking for win number 111 in his fantastic career. They'll try Frohoff. Frohoff. Smith with a dig, going back, back, back. Karch chases it down.
Got a huge run to take.
Fake block. Smith has it. This could be it. The championship on the line. Smith blocked. We're still alive. The tournament still going. Smith, and on a very, very tough chance.
This ball set tight to the net.
Yes.
Tight to the net. Doesn't get blocked very often, but he's trying to put this ball away right now. And what a clutch block by Karch Kirai.
Frohoff serving.
Lollipop style.
See if St. John can put the wrapper on this lollipop. He does. And St. John and Randy getting closer. $75,000 tournament. Stoklos for the third time. Championship point. Trying for Karch. Smith has it. Stoklos to Smith. Smith blocked.
Well, this final has absolutely everything. Red cards, rain, thunder, lightning, great volleyball, and back-to-back clutch stuffs.
4 serving 6. Remember, we're only playing to 7. Setting has been unbelievable from both teams. The hand setting has been perfect. St. John gets the side out.
They've served for the championship twice and have had chances both times.
2 swings, as we call it, in beach volleyball lingo. And now Randy wants to put the topper with the stuff. That's the way to end a tournament.
Frohoff knows the ball's coming to him.
4th championship point. Frohoff out of bounds, and Smith and Stoklos have done it. All the way back from the dead. And the crowd